Come learn about convergent evolution, mimicry, and how this came up almost 50 years ago in an episode of Star Trek, starting now. Hello! My name is Mohammed Noor. I'm a biology professor at Duke University, and I'm an occasional science consultant for the Star Trek universe. I'm very excited to talk with you today about two related biology concepts, convergent evolution and mimicry. Now, the first of these, convergent evolution, came up in a fun episode way back when in Star Trek the Animated Series. So, without further ado, let's dive right into going over them. So again, this example comes from the 1970s Star Trek Animated Series in an episode called Eye of the Beholder. In it, they explore a new planet where they encounter a dinosaur-like beast. Kirk, well, not this Kirk, notes having seen something like it on another planet and says that planet also has a desert-like environment. Spock asks an important question. You propose the same environment necessarily prompts the same evolution? Do similar environments prompt similar evolutionary results? Well, I discussed in an earlier video how natural selection makes animal and plant populations evolve traits favorable to particular environments. Because of those traits, they get more offspring, and their offspring inherit those traits too. So the question is, would very distantly related species evolve similar traits or similar appearance if in the same kind of environment? The answer is sometimes yes, and this process is called convergent evolution. Now, the evolved traits would be practical to survival, like how dolphins and sharks have the same general body shape, which works well for swimming through ocean waters. But these species are not at all similar on the inside. Sharks, for example, have gills, a skeleton made of cartilage, they're cold-blooded, etc. While dolphins have lungs, they have a bony skeleton, and they're warm-blooded like us. So those traits that converge are the ones associated with surviving in that environment. So shape and color also in this case. But they are not becoming the same species. Sharks and dolphins could never make babies with each other, for example. Now, convergence can happen when species are in the same location or when they're in very similar environments that are at different locations. For example, puffins are found near the North Pole and penguins are found near the South Pole. Now, they look kind of similar, but color, webbed feet, but they're not closely related and they would never encounter each other. Now, often this convergence happens so animals can blend in with their backgrounds. But sometimes it's good to actually look like another living species directly. This leads me to a related process called mimicry. This is where one species specifically evolves to look like another one found in the same area to gain some of its advantage. So as an example, a lot of animals know to avoid stinging wasps because of their yellow and black stripes. Now look at these. Are you scared? Well, none of these can sting you. These are all harmless hoverflies that evolved yellow and black stripes specifically so animals like us don't mess with them. Now, studies have shown that this isn't confusing just to us, but also to other animals like spiders, for example. So this is good for the hoverfly, but it doesn't really help the wasps. Also, this kind of mimicry only works well if the dangerous species is much more common than the harmless ones. So predators still learn to avoid that color. But there's another kind of mimicry that actually helps all the participating species. That's when multiple stinging or distasteful species all evolve to resemble each other. For example, various stinging wasps and bees all have similar coloration. Because predator animals like us learn to associate those colors with stings, we then avoid anything with those colors, and the bee and wasp species all benefit from the mimicry in this case. So coming back to this Star Trek episode, the question came up whether deserts on different worlds can lead to similar looking animals. Now, this idea isn't crazy. For example, the desert horned lizard in North America does look a little bit like the Australian thorny devil. So even in very distant desert environments, you can get similar forms evolving. Now, even this spider that's found in deserts has similar coloration to those lizards. And again, the aspects that are similar are those specific to survival. In this case, it's the ability to blend in with a rocky or sandy background. But no one would ever confuse the spider for a lizard per se. So hypothetically, if there are large four-legged forms on these different planets, it's possible that in similar desert environments, they'd evolve to look similar on the outside by convergent evolution. But again, the similarity would be just in appearance and in surviving to a hot, dry, sandy environment. Let me end by recapping some of the main science points. First, convergent evolution can happen in similar environments, leading to species looking similar. And second, some species even mimic the appearance of others in the same environment to help them survive. So more neat science kind of related to depictions in Star Trek. Had you heard about convergent evolution or the two kinds of mimicry before? And what did you think about this episode of Star Trek the Animated Series? Let us know in the comments, and thank you for tuning in to BioTrekkie Explains. See you next time!